In the vast expanse of the universe, the myriad civilizations of the Galactic Union had long thrived in peace and prosperity, a testament to their mutual understanding and technological advancements. Governed by the oldest species, the Ivorix, the Union spanned thousands of systems, with each member race benefiting from collective knowledge and resources. The Ivorix, towering beings with iridescent scales, believed in harmony through control, ensuring peace by their strict but fair regulations. On the edge of the Milky Way, Earth remained an uncontacted outlier, its inhabitants blissfully unaware of the cosmic conglomerate just beyond their reach. This isolation ended abruptly when the Ivorix, during a routine scouting of underdeveloped planets, stumbled upon Earth. Captain Zelthar, an experienced Ivorix commander, observed the blue planet through his ship's enhanced viewing scopes, intrigued by the bustling activity and chaotic nature of human civilization. "Prepare for first contact. Initiate Protocol Gamma," Zelthar commanded, his voice resonating through the ship's intercom. The humans, with their diverse cultures and relentless ambition, presented an anomaly. Unlike other species that the Ivorix had integrated into the Union, humans were fragmented into multiple governing bodies, each with its own ideology and agenda. The concept of a single global leader was alien to them, a fact that posed both a challenge and an opportunity for Zelthar. The Galactic Union's standard procedure for integration was calculated and methodical. Initially, they would introduce themselves as benefactors, offering technological advancements in exchange for compliance and eventual integration. However, Earth's strategic location and abundant resources made it crucial to expedite the process. Zelthar knew that this mission could not follow the usual peaceful methods. The humans had to be subdued swiftly. As the Ivorix delegation prepared for their descent, Zelthar's second-in-command, Sub-Captain Thureen, a more empathetic soul, voiced his concerns. "Sir, the intelligence reports suggest that humans are highly adaptable and resistant to external control. Perhaps a more diplomatic approach could be more effective." Zelthar considered this briefly, but shook his head. "No, Thureen. History has shown us that initial resistance is best met with a display of strength. Once they realize the futility of their defiance, they will accept our rule." The Ivorix ship landed near a major Earth city, chosen for its influence and technological infrastructure. As they disembarked, a crowd gathered, their expressions a mix of awe and fear. Zelthar stepped forward, his stature and the shimmering scale armor he wore designed to intimidate. "People of Earth," Zelthar began, his voice amplified and translated into multiple human languages. "We come in peace and with great gifts. Join us and share in the prosperity of the Galactic Union." The reaction was mixed. Some humans knelt, overwhelmed by the advanced technology and the imposing presence of the Ivorix. Others, however, responded with hostility. The Ivorix's surveillance had failed to appreciate fully the humans' attachment to their sovereignty and distrust of foreign authority. As Zelthar returned to his ship to deliberate the next steps, isolated incidents of resistance began to emerge. Groups of humans, disparate in every way but united in their desire for independence, started to organize. They were not ready to surrender their freedom, not to the Ivorix, not to anyone. Thus began a covert resistance, small at first, but driven by a powerful motivator that the Ivorix had underestimated: human determination. As Zelthar watched the first signs of rebellion, he realized that this mission might require more than just a display of power. Perhaps Thureen was right. Perhaps they needed a new strategy. But for now, he had to control the chaos, one way or another. In the days following the Ivorix landing, Earth was a planet on the brink of unprecedented change. Major world leaders convened in emergency sessions, while news of the alien arrival spread like wildfire across digital networks. The humans' reaction to the Ivorix was as varied as their cultures, ranging from calls for aggressive defense to advocating for diplomatic engagement. In the shadows of this global unrest, a clandestine meeting was taking place in a secure location deep in the Swiss Alps. Representatives from various powers, both major and minor, had gathered to form a unified response to the alien presence. Among them was Dr. Elena Vosk, a prominent figure in international diplomacy, and an expert in extraterrestrial affairs, thanks to her theoretical work, which had never been put to practical use until now. "We cannot let fear dictate our actions," Dr. Vosk advised, her voice calm yet authoritative. "The Ivorics have shown that they are powerful, but they also proposed a partnership. We need to negotiate from a position of strength, understanding what they truly want from us." Across the table, General Hakim al-Masri, a military leader with decades of experience, disagreed. "Negotiate? They've come to our planet uninvited, showing off their might. We should be preparing our defenses, readying for the possibility that talks fail. We must protect our sovereignty at all costs." The room buzzed with varying opinions, but one thing was clear: Earth needed a coordinated strategy. The meeting concluded with the formation of the United Earth Coalition, UEC, a temporary alliance aimed at addressing the alien challenge collectively. Dr. Vosk was appointed as the lead negotiator, while General al-Masri was tasked with preparing defensive measures, a dual strategy of diplomacy and defense. Meanwhile, aboard the Ivoric's flagship orbiting Earth, Captain Zelthar and Sub-Captain Thureen were analyzing the human response. The initial resistance on the ground had been more spirited than anticipated, causing Zelthar to reconsider their approach. "Thureen, ensure that our surveillance captures every major military movement on their part. We need to be prepared for any sudden actions from these humans," Zelthar ordered. "Yes, Captain. And perhaps we should also consider reaching out to those who advocate for peace. There could be an advantage in splitting their fronts," Thureen suggested, hoping to find a peaceful resolution. Zelthar nodded, seeing the wisdom in fostering divisions among the human ranks. "Proceed with that plan. Identify potential allies among their leaders. We will use both the carrot and the stick." Back on Earth, the newly formed UEC was also busy. Dr. Vosk contacted the Ivorics through the communication channels they had left open. "Captain Zelthar, on behalf of United Earth, I request a meeting to discuss the terms of your proposal and ensure that any agreements respect the sovereignty and laws of Earth." Zelthar agreed to the meeting, scheduled to be held aboard his ship. As preparations went underway, both sides plotted their courses of action, aware that the coming discussions would be crucial. In secret, General al-Masri prepared a contingency operation, known only to a trusted few. This plan would be Earth's last line of defense should the negotiations fail, or worse, turn into a trap. The operation was risky and involved technology that had been in experimental stages until now. As Earth and the Ivorics geared up for a diplomatic encounter, the underlying tension hinted at the broader struggles to come. The stage was set not just for a meeting of leaders, but for a confrontation of worlds, ideologies, and futures. With Earth's unity and resolve tested, and the Ivorics' intentions unclear, the next moves would prove critical in shaping the destiny of both races. The atmosphere aboard the Ivorics flagship was charged with a palpable tension as the day of the diplomatic meeting arrived. Captain Zelthar stood in the reception hall, preparing to greet the human delegates. His ship, a marvel of engineering and power, was intended to impress and intimidate the humans, reminding them of the technological prowess they were up against. Dr. Elena Vosk, alongside a carefully selected team of Earth's finest diplomats, scientists, and strategists, boarded the alien vessel. The gravity of their task weighed heavily on them. They were not merely representing their individual nations, but humanity itself. Dr. Vosk's mind was clear, focused on securing a future for Earth that maintained their freedom and dignity. As the two parties convened, the contrast between them was stark. The Ivorics were imposing, their scales shimmering under the artificial lights, while the humans appeared diverse, each delegate reflecting the unique characteristics of their part of Earth. "Welcome, Dr. Vosk and esteemed representatives of Earth," Zelthar began, his voice echoing smoothly through the translator device. "We hope that today's discussions will mark the beginning of a prosperous relationship between our peoples." Dr. Vosk stepped forward, her posture confident. "Thank you, Captain Zelthar. We come with the hope of understanding your intentions and establishing terms that respect the sovereignty and rights of Earth's people." The negotiations that followed were a meticulous dance of words and wits. Zelthar proposed technological advancements in energy and medicine, tempting the humans with the benefits of joining the Galactic Union. In exchange, he requested strategic bases on Earth, a stipulation that immediately tightened the room's air. Dr. Vosk, understanding the implications of such a presence, countered with a proposal for a limited exchange program that would allow Earth to assess the technology before agreeing to any permanent installations. She emphasized the need for Earth to maintain control over its territory and governance. The discussions stretched for hours, with each side tactfully pushing and pulling. Subcaptain Thurine observed the humans' reactions, noting their resilience and unity. It was a stark departure from other species the Ivorix had encountered, who often succumbed to internal strife under external pressure. Meanwhile, back on Earth, General Al-Mazri monitored the situation closely. His sources within the meeting kept him informed, and he readied his forces, unwilling to leave Earth defenseless. The experimental technology he had prepared was controversial. A network of satellites capable of disabling advanced technology, developed in secret by Earth's top engineers. It was a gamble, but one he believed necessary. As the meeting drew to a close, both parties agreed to a provisional accord, allowing Earth to test the Ivorix technology on a small scale without relinquishing any territory. It was a temporary victory for Earth and a new strategy for the Ivorix, who usually preferred more decisive conquests. "Thank you for a constructive discussion," Dr. Vosk said as they concluded, her tone polite but firm. "Earth will not make any further commitments until we have thoroughly evaluated your technology and its implications." Zelthar nodded, masking his frustration. "We look forward to demonstrating the benefits of our partnership. We believe that once your people see the advantages, they will agree to a more permanent arrangement." As the Earth delegation departed, the mood among them was cautiously optimistic. They had managed to stave off immediate domination and gained an opportunity to strengthen their defenses. But the real challenge lay ahead: testing the alien technology, deciphering the Ivorix's true intentions, and preparing for any potential betrayals. Back on his ship, Zelthar convened with his advisors, planning their next move. "They are more cunning than anticipated," he admitted. "We must be ready to adapt our strategy. Earth will not fall easily." Both sides knew the stakes were high, with the future of Earth hanging in the balance. The coming weeks would be crucial in determining whether this tentative cooperation could blossom into a true alliance or devolve into a catastrophic conflict. In the wake of the provisional agreement, Earth was a flurry of activity. Dr. Vosk and her team, now at the forefront of an unprecedented task, worked tirelessly to set up the framework for the technology trial with the Ivorix. They established a secure site in an isolated part of the Nevada desert, far from major population centers yet accessible enough for oversight and quick intervention if necessary. The Ivorix, on their part, delivered the first shipment of technology under strict surveillance. These included advanced energy generators capable of powering entire cities with minimal environmental impact and medical devices that promised to revolutionize healthcare. The arrival of these items was met with both awe and skepticism among the human scientists and engineers tasked with their evaluation. Meanwhile, General Al-Mazri and his team monitored the situation from a military base nearby, their eyes not only on the alien technology, but also on their own secret weapon, the satellite network dubbed Project Safeguard. While Dr. Vosk negotiated and scientists experimented, the military prepared for any sign of betrayal. On board the Ivorix flagship, Zelthar and his advisors kept a close watch on Earth's reactions. "Make sure our technology performs as expected. It must be impressive but not so advanced that it cannot be controlled," Zelthar instructed his chief engineer. The balance had to be perfect to entice further cooperation without causing panic or backlash. As the trials began, the Earth team, led by Dr. Vosk, approached their task with a mixture of scientific rigor and caution. The energy generators were the first to be tested. To everyone's surprise, they performed exceptionally well, exceeding all expectations without any apparent risk or side effect. The media coverage was cautiously optimistic, with the public intrigued by the potential benefits. However, the medical devices were another story. During a routine test, a malfunction caused a minor injury to one of the technicians. The incident, although quickly contained and resolved, sparked a wave of anxiety and doubt about the safety of alien technology. Dr. Vosk immediately ordered a full review of all equipment, unwilling to risk any harm to her people. The incident provided General Al-Masri with the evidence he needed to argue for the activation of Project Safeguard. "We need a contingency in place," he insisted during a secure meeting with global defense leaders. "This minor incident could be a harbinger of greater risks. We control when to activate the satellites. Let's not wait until it's too late." Dr. Vosk, however, urged patience. "We cannot react out of fear," she argued in a high-stakes conference call with world leaders. "Every new technology has its risks. We must not let this minor setback derail what could be a transformative alliance for Earth." The debate was intense, reflecting the deep divisions on how to handle the new alien relationship. In the end, a compromise was reached. Project Safeguard would be brought to operational readiness, but not activated unless a significant threat emerged. As the trials continued under heightened scrutiny, the Ivorics observed with a mix of concern and anticipation. They needed the humans to trust their technology, yet they were prepared for the possibility of needing to escalate their approach. Through all this, an unexpected development occurred. A group of human hackers, intrigued by the alien technology and skeptical of both their own leaders and the Ivorics, managed to infiltrate the communication system used for the trials. Their discoveries would soon propel the situation into an entirely new direction, revealing secrets that would challenge the fragile trust between Earth and the Ivorics. As Earth and its alien visitors navigated these tumultuous waters, the line between cooperation and conflict remained perilously thin. The outcome of the ongoing tests would soon dictate the future course of their interstellar relationship, for better or worse. The revelations from the hackers, a group known as the Shadow Bites, began to ripple through both human and Ivoric circles. Utilizing their skills, the hackers had uncovered hidden functionalities within the medical devices, surveillance capabilities that were not disclosed by the Ivorics. This information quickly leaked to the public, sparking a wave of distrust and fear among Earth's population. Dr. Vosk was summoned to an emergency session with world leaders, where the leaked information was laid bare. The atmosphere in the room was tense, as the leaders grappled with the implications of the Ivorics' deception. Dr. Vosk, feeling both betrayed and concerned, promised to confront Zelthar directly. Meanwhile, Zelthar received the news of the leak with frustration and a certain inevitability. "It seems our intentions have been misunderstood," he remarked dryly to Sub-Captain Therine. "Prepare for a potential escalation. This misunderstanding could lead to unnecessary conflict." Back on Earth, public protests erupted in major cities, with people demanding that all Ivorics technology be removed and that Earth cease all negotiations. The situation was becoming volatile, and Dr. Vosk knew she had to act swiftly to prevent a total breakdown in relations. In a high-stakes meeting aboard the Ivorics flagship, Dr. Vosk confronted Zelthar. "You have breached our trust by not disclosing the full capabilities of your technology. How can we enter into an alliance if you withhold such critical information?" Zelthar, maintaining his composure, responded, "Dr. Vosk, the surveillance capability is standard for all technology within the Galactic Union. It is meant to ensure the security and proper use of the technology, not to spy on our allies. It was never our intention to undermine your sovereignty." Despite his explanation, the damage was done. Dr. Vosk returned to Earth with a heavy heart, uncertain of the path forward. She relayed the conversation to the world leaders, who were split on how to proceed. Some advocated for cutting off all ties with the Ivorics, while others saw the potential benefits of the advanced technology and urged caution and further dialogue. General Al-Masri saw the unfolding events as a justification for his cautious stance. "We need to activate Project Safeguard," he asserted in a Security Council meeting. "It's clear that the Ivorics are not fully transparent with us. We must protect ourselves." Amidst these discussions, the Shadow Bites released more information, this time revealing that some of the Ivorics' internal communications expressed frustration with the slow pace of integration and suggested potential strategies for accelerating Earth's compliance. This only fueled the fire of mistrust and led to a surge in support for General al-Masri's position. As Earth's leaders debated, an emergency session of the United Earth Coalition was called. After intense deliberation, a decision was reached to activate Project Safeguard as a precautionary measure, but to keep it hidden from the Ivorix unless a direct threat was perceived. Dr. Vosk, tasked with managing the diplomatic fallout, proposed a new series of negotiations with strict transparency protocols. Let us invite the Ivorix to demonstrate their commitment to trust by allowing us to inspect their technologies thoroughly, she suggested. As these diplomatic efforts were underway, the Ivorix, sensing the growing hostility and the potential for conflict, began preparing for the worst. Both sides stood on the brink of a confrontation, each holding on to their strategic advantages, hoping for peace but preparing for the possibility of war. The next moves by both Earth and the Ivorix would be crucial in determining the fate of their interactions. Would they find a path to mutual understanding and cooperation? Or would the growing tensions erupt into open conflict? The delicate balance of power and trust was more precarious than ever. The air was thick with tension, as Earth's decision to secretly activate Project Safeguard echoed quietly among the highest echelons of global leadership. The project, a sophisticated network of defense satellites equipped to neutralize high-tech threats, was Earth's shadowy sword, held at the ready but concealed. Meanwhile, Dr. Vosk initiated a new round of diplomatic talks, proposing stringent transparency measures in the hopes of rebuilding trust. She invited the Ivorix to a high-security facility in Geneva, Switzerland, designed as neutral ground for such critical negotiations. The Ivorix, aware of the growing distrust but unaware of Project Safeguard, agreed to participate, seeing it as an opportunity to salvage the deteriorating situation. As the delegates gathered, Earth's team was prepared. They brought in top scientists, security experts, and even ethicists to address the full spectrum of concerns related to the alien technology. Dr. Vosk led the discussions with a clear message. Transparency is not optional. It is essential for any future cooperation. Captain Zelthar, understanding the gravity of the moment, conceded to the demands for full inspections and disclosures. "We will comply with your checks," he assured. "Our intention has never been to dominate but to integrate Earth as a valued partner in the Galactic Union." The inspection process was thorough. Human experts examined the Ivorix technology with meticulous care, uncovering no further hidden functionalities. The surveillance capabilities were openly discussed, and modifications were proposed to allow Earth to control these aspects independently. As the technical teams worked, the diplomats debated the terms of an updated treaty. The new agreement would include clauses for mutual security, joint oversight of technology deployment, and a phased integration into the Galactic Union, subject to Earth's continual approval. Back on Earth, the public mood was cautiously optimistic. The transparent negotiations and the Ivorix's cooperative stance were broadcast live, helping to quell some of the fears and anger. However, skepticism remained, fueled by recent memories of deception. General al-Masri, still wary of the Ivorix's intentions, maintained a close watch on the military preparations. Despite the positive signs from Geneva, he ordered the continuation of strategic military exercises as a demonstration of Earth's readiness to defend itself if needed. Amid these delicate negotiations, a new crisis emerged. A radical faction among the Ivorix, discontent with Zelthar's conciliatory approach, launched a covert operation. They aimed to create a display of power on Earth that would force the humans into submission. This rogue operation, unauthorized and unknown to Zelthar, targeted a major Earth military installation using sophisticated stealth technology. The attack was sudden and devastating. Despite the immediate and severe response from Earth's defenses, the damage was significant. The incident was quickly traced back to an Ivorix craft, leading to a dramatic escalation in tensions. As news of the attack reached the Geneva facility, the negotiations halted abruptly. Dr. Vosk and Captain Zelthar faced each other across the conference table. The trust they had worked so hard to build shattered in an instant. "We had no knowledge of this attack," Zelthar claimed. his voice strained with frustration and anger at his own kind's actions. "This is the work of a faction opposed to my command." Dr. Vosk, struggling to maintain diplomatic composure, replied, "This act of aggression cannot go unanswered. We must reconsider all terms of our engagement. Trust has been broken again, and we must ensure the security of Earth first and foremost." The future of Earth-Ivorix relations hung by a thread, with both sides now on high alert. The prospect of war, once distant, seemed ever more likely as Earth prepared to activate Project Safeguard publicly, and the Ivorix grappled with internal dissent. The next steps would be crucial in determining whether a path to peace could still be forged amidst the growing shadows of conflict. In the aftermath of the unauthorized attack on Earth's military installation, global sentiment towards the Ivorix shifted dramatically towards suspicion and hostility. Earth's governments, under intense public pressure, responded by elevating their military readiness to unprecedented levels. Project Safeguard, though still officially unacknowledged to the public and the Ivorix, was put on high alert, its operators ready to deploy its full capabilities at a moment's notice. Within the Ivorix ranks, the rogue faction's actions sparked a fierce internal debate. Captain Zelthar, outraged by the betrayal and the potential for catastrophic conflict, moved quickly to regain control. He arrested the leaders of the rogue faction, publicly denouncing their actions as a perversion of the Ivorix mission of peaceful integration. Back in Geneva, the halted negotiations tentatively resumed, but the atmosphere was markedly changed. The conference room was now a fortification of mistrust, each side carefully measuring their words and actions. Dr. Vosk, while shaken by the recent events, was determined to steer the situation away from outright war. "Captain Zelthar, your swift action against the rogue faction is a step towards rebuilding trust," she acknowledged. "However, Earth must now insist on additional safeguards to ensure the security of our planet. We propose a joint monitoring initiative involving Earth and Ivorix personnel to oversee all activities related to your technology and presence here." Captain Zelthar agreed, understanding the necessity of such measures. "We will support this initiative fully. It is clear that we must work harder to prove our intentions are honorable." As part of the new agreement, Earth would host a small Ivorix contingent whose role was to facilitate transparency and cooperation under the strict supervision of the United Earth Coalition. Simultaneously, an Earth delegation would be invited to visit the Ivorix homeworld, fostering mutual understanding and cultural exchange. Despite these positive developments, the global mood on Earth remained uneasy. The media was filled with debates and speculative reports about the future, many fearing that the presence of Ivorix on Earth could lead to further incidents. General Al-Mazri, now a key figure in the ongoing security measures, personally oversaw the installation of the joint monitoring systems. He met with Captain Zelthar to discuss the military aspects of their cooperation. "Captain, understand that while we are committed to peace, our primary duty is to protect Earth. Any deviation from our agreed terms will be met with an immediate response," he stated firmly. Zelthar, having seen the devastating potential for conflict firsthand, nodded in agreement. "I assure you, General, my people are equally committed to peace. We do not wish to see our relationship defined by conflict." Amid these tense yet hopeful developments, the Shadowbites continued their vigilance. They managed to infiltrate deeper into the Ivorix network, uncovering historical data that suggested a pattern of similar incidents in other systems where the Ivorix had intervened. They leaked this information, causing further debates about the long-term implications of the Ivorix presence on Earth. As Earth prepared for the arrival of the Ivorix contingent and the departure of their own delegates to the Ivorix homeworld, both sides knew that the coming months would be crucial. The Joint Monitoring Initiative was not just a security measure, but a test of the potential for true interstellar partnership. Dr. Vosk and Captain Zelthar, leaders on their respective fronts, prepared to face their greatest challenge yet. They had to prove not only to their people but to each other that peace was possible, that two vastly different civilizations could coexist and thrive together. As they moved forward, the eyes of the world and the stars were upon them, watching, waiting, and hoping for a future where war was only a memory. As the inaugural Joint Monitoring Initiative took shape, the small Ivorix contingent arrived on Earth amidst a media frenzy. Their arrival was broadcast worldwide, symbolizing not just a tentative step toward interstellar cooperation but also a visible test of Earth's readiness to engage with a previously hostile alien race. The Earth delegation, in turn, prepared for their historic journey to the Ivorix homeworld, a mission filled with both potential and peril. Dr. Vosk, spearheading the Earth delegation, worked closely with cultural experts and xenopsychologists to craft a strategy that would not only safeguard Earth's interests, but also foster genuine understanding. We must show the Ivorix that we respect their culture and are earnest about our desire for peace, she explained to her team. However, we must also be vigilant, prepared for any sign of deception or deviation from the agreed terms. On the Ivorix homeworld, preparations were underway to receive the human delegates. Captain Zelthar, having quelled the internal dissent within his ranks, faced the dual challenge of ensuring a hospitable reception for the humans and maintaining the support of his own people, many of whom remained skeptical of Earth's intentions and capabilities. The Earth delegates arrived to a mixture of curiosity and caution. The Ivorix public, having seen humans only through transmissions, were intrigued by their physical diversity and complex expressions. The initial meetings were formal, filled with ceremonial exchanges and carefully scripted speeches. However, as the days passed, informal interactions began to provide genuine insights into each other's cultures and values. Back on Earth, the Ivorix contingent was subjected to a similar scrutiny. Their every move was watched, their interactions recorded, and their technology inspected. The Earth's military, under General Al-Masri's direct oversight, took no chances, deploying both visible and covert measures to monitor the aliens' activities. Despite these tensions, breakthrough moments of cultural exchange began to emerge. An Ivorix scientist shared advanced agricultural techniques with Earth's ecologists, demonstrating how to increase crop yields without harmful chemicals. Meanwhile, a human musician introduced the Ivorix to classical music, an art form they found profoundly moving, given their sensitive hearing and emotional depth. However, the path to understanding was not smooth. A minor incident occurred when an Ivorix officer, unfamiliar with human social cues, inadvertently offended a group of Earth military personnel, leading to a tense standoff. Though resolved quickly, it highlighted the fragility of the peace and the ease with which misunderstanding could escalate into conflict. As both sides navigated these complex intercultural waters, the Shadowbites continued their surveillance, uncovering a confidential communication within the Ivorix military that suggested ongoing debates about the strategic value of Earth. This leak, promptly shared with Earth's leadership, threatened to undermine the slowly building trust. Faced with this new challenge, Dr. Vosk called an emergency meeting with Captain Zelthar, confronting him with the evidence. "We need transparency, Zelthar. These documents suggest that segments of your military still view us as strategic assets rather than partners. How do you expect us to proceed under such circumstances?" Zelthar, clearly frustrated by the continuous power struggles within his ranks, assured her of his commitment to peace. "Dr. Vosk, I will address this personally. The path to trust is fraught with challenges, but I am committed to this partnership. We must not allow the ambitions of a few to derail the hopes of many." The dialogue that followed was intense yet constructive. Both leaders agreed to enhance the transparency of their military operations and to establish a direct communication line between their respective command centers. As Earth and the Ivorix navigated these turbulent waters, the potential for a lasting peace remained uncertain, balanced precariously between moments of cultural appreciation and the shadows of strategic maneuvering. The future of their relationship hung in the balance, requiring not just diplomatic acumen, but a genuine commitment to understanding and respecting their profound differences. With tensions simmering beneath the surface, Earth and the Ivorix reached a critical juncture in their relationship. The joint monitoring initiative and the cultural exchange missions had provided glimpses of hope, but the shadows of mistrust and uncertainty lingered. As both sides grappled with the complexities of interstellar diplomacy, a series of events would test the fragile bonds of their alliance. The Ivorix contingent on Earth, led by Commander Vralak, continued their collaborative efforts with human scientists and researchers. Their expertise in energy manipulation and advanced materials science proved invaluable, leading to breakthroughs in sustainable energy production and space propulsion technology. These joint projects fostered a sense of camaraderie among the teams, bridging the gap between their disparate cultures. Meanwhile, the Earth delegation on the Ivorix homeworld delved deeper into the alien society, seeking to understand its intricacies and nuances. They were amazed by the Ivorix's communal living arrangements, their deep reverence for nature, and their intricate social hierarchies. Despite the initial cultural clashes, mutual respect and admiration began to blossom. However, amidst these positive developments, a shadow loomed on the horizon. Reports surfaced of increased activity among fringe groups within both Earth and Ivorix societies, fueled by fear and prejudice. These groups, emboldened by recent events and distrustful of the burgeoning alliance, called for the expulsion of the alien visitors and the severing of all ties. General Al-Masri, ever vigilant, monitored these developments closely. Aware of the potential for sabotage and subterfuge, he deployed additional security measures, bolstering Earth's defenses against internal and external threats alike. At the same time, he urged caution, recognizing the importance of maintaining open channels of communication with the Ivorix. Captain Zelthar, facing similar challenges within his own ranks, worked tirelessly to root out dissent and reaffirm the Ivorix commitment to peace. He convened meetings with key leaders and addressed the concerns of the populace, emphasizing the benefits of cooperation and mutual understanding. Amidst the growing unease, a breakthrough occurred. A joint Earth-Ivorix research team made a groundbreaking discovery, a method for stabilizing wormholes, potentially unlocking new avenues for interstellar travel. The significance of this achievement could not be overstated, offering the promise of exploration and collaboration on an unprecedented scale. Dr. Vosk and Commander Vrelak, recognizing the transformative potential of their collaboration, presented their findings to their respective leaders. The proposal for a joint expedition to test the stabilized wormhole technology was met with cautious optimism, tempered by the lingering specter of conflict. In a historic moment of unity, Earth and the Ivorix agreed to embark on this bold venture together. The expedition, comprised of scientists, diplomats, and military personnel from both worlds, would journey to the edge of known space, venturing into the unknown in search of new horizons. As preparations for the expedition began in earnest, Earth and the Ivorix found themselves at a crossroads. The journey ahead was fraught with peril, yet it also held the promise of a brighter future, a future built on cooperation, understanding, and the enduring bonds of alliance. But as they ventured into the vast expanse of the cosmos, they knew that the challenges they faced would test not only their resolve, but also the very essence of what it meant to be allies in a universe filled with uncertainty and possibility. And so, with hope in their hearts and determination in their souls, they set forth on their journey, bound together by a shared destiny and a shared dream of a better tomorrow. The expedition to test the stabilized wormhole technology represented a watershed moment in the relationship between Earth and the Ivorix. As the joint fleet of spacecraft, bristling with advanced technology and diverse crews, embarked on their journey into the unknown, they carried with them the hopes and aspirations of their respective worlds. Dr. Elena Vosk, leading the Earth contingent aboard the flagship Odyssey, felt a mix of excitement and trepidation as they approached the threshold of the stabilized wormhole. Beside her stood Commander Vrelak, representing the Ivorix, their shared determination forging an unlikely bond between their two species. "Are we ready for this, Commander?" Dr. Vosk asked, her gaze fixed on the swirling vortex of energy before them. Commander Vrelak nodded, his scaled features betraying a hint of anticipation. "We have prepared for this moment for centuries, Doctor. Together, we will unlock the mysteries of the universe and chart a new course for our civilizations." With those words, the Odyssey and its companion ships plunged into the wormhole, hurtling through the fabric of space-time towards destinations unknown. As they traversed the cosmic expanse, they encountered phenomena beyond their wildest imaginations, nebulae of dazzling beauty, star systems teeming with life, and anomalies that defied the laws of physics. But amidst the wonder and awe of their journey, they also encountered dangers. Rogue asteroids threatened their ships, Cosmic storms tested their resolve, and encounters with enigmatic alien species posed diplomatic challenges. Yet through it all, they persevered, drawing strength from their unity and determination to explore the uncharted reaches of the cosmos. As they ventured deeper into the unknown, they discovered wonders beyond imagination, planets teeming with life, ancient ruins left by long-vanished civilizations, and celestial phenomena that defied explanation. Each discovery fueled their sense of wonder and reinforced their belief in the boundless potential of cooperation between Earth and the Ivorics. But the journey was not without its trials. Tensions arose among the crew members, cultural misunderstandings threatened to escalate into conflict, and the ever-present specter of the unknown cast a shadow over their expedition. Yet through it all, they remained united in their quest for knowledge and understanding. As they reached the culmination of their journey, standing on the precipice of a vast cosmic abyss, Dr. Vosk and Commander Vralak shared a moment of reflection. "We have come so far together, Commander," Dr. Vosk remarked, her voice filled with emotion. "And yet our journey is only beginning." Commander Vralak nodded, his gaze fixed on the distant stars. "Indeed, Doctor. Together we have forged a new path among the stars, a path built on trust, cooperation, and mutual respect. And as we stand on the threshold of this new frontier, let us remember the lessons we have learned and the bonds that have brought us here." With those words, Dr. Vosk and Commander Vralak turned towards the horizon, their eyes filled with determination and hope. For they knew that the journey ahead would be filled with challenges and uncertainties, but also with the promise of discovery, growth, and the realization of their shared dream, a universe united in peace and harmony, where the stars themselves would bear witness to the triumph of cooperation over conflict and the enduring power of the human spirit.